If you're trying to get fit in today's world, you can easily get overwhelmed by the amount of information out there. What is the best training program to start? Should I bulk or should I cut? Is CrossFit good for me? Should I do cardio? Should I not do cardio? But this fitness influencer says that this exercise is bad. Well, don't listen to him, he's a fake natty. Just buy my supplements, link in the description. All of this is enough to make your head spin. And then there are all those Hollywood actors who tell you how they gained 20 kilos of muscle in 6 months by eating chicken and broccoli. You might think that conflicting information about fitness and exercise is a completely new problem, but the current situation isn't too different from what the Romans had to deal with 2000 years ago. This video will not give you the best Roman beginner program for maximum muscle gain approved by Arnoldus Schwarzeneggerus, but it will offer you a glimpse into the state of casual fitness in the Roman Empire. So how did the Romans get fit? First of all, people of antiquity had much less of a need to exercise, because most of them did physical labor. The peasants out in the province would spend their whole day in the field, and would laugh at you if you proposed they do some more physical activity in their free time. A large portion of Roman men served in the army, and the soldiers had their own training program, which involved copious amounts of marching every single day. People who worked out professionally were athletes and gladiators. Their training routines focused on their specific sport and were too demanding for an average citizen. The only type of people interested in casual fitness were wealthy urban citizens who didn't have enough physical activity otherwise. So where would the Roman urbanite go for his workout? The city had two types of establishments for athletic activities. The bigger ones were called gymnasia. These were general-purpose training facilities. A gymnasium could include an atrium for personal exercise, a court for team games, and a space for boxing or wrestling. Wrestling and boxing clubs also existed separately from public gymnasia, and were called palestra. In the imperial period, the big gymnasia were being built as parts of huge public bath complexes. Seneca describes an experience of living in an apartment above a Roman gym. Beshrew me if I think anything more requisite than silence for a man who secludes himself in order to study. Imagine what a variety of noises reverberates about my ears. I have lodgings right over a bathing establishment. So picture to yourself the assortments of sounds which are strong enough to make me heed my very powers of hearing. When your strenuous gentleman, for example, is exercising himself by flourishing leaden weights. When he is working hard, or else pretends to be working hard, I can hear him grunt, and whenever he releases his imprisoned breath, I can hear him panting in wheezy and high-pitched tones. So, as you can see, the gyms didn't change too much in the last 2000 years. Gymnasium and palestra are both Greek words. The Greeks were the main fitness influencers of the classical world. They had a culture around sports and athletics that went back hundreds of years. Greek physicians and trainers, or gymnastes, worked in Roman gladiator schools to produce the best fighters possible. From them we get most of our information about the kinds of exercises that the Romans did. Just like with today's fitness coaches, there were different schools of thought on what should be prioritized. Lucian, for example, was a big proponent of cardio. He recommends a lot of aerobic exercise, especially running in sand and sprinting with heavy weights. Philostratus describes the training that includes both endurance and weightlifting, something which today would probably be labeled as CrossFit. Some athletes trained by carrying heavy weights, others by chasing hares and horses, or by bending and straightening thick rods of wrought iron. Others yoked themselves with strong oxen to pull wagons, or bent back the neck of bulls, and some did the same with lions. He is also our source for ancient daily training program called the Tetrad. The Tetrad was a 4-day cycle for training of gladiators. The first day prepares the athlete, the second is an all-out trial, the third is relaxation, and the fourth is a medium-hard workout. Exercise of the first day is made up of short, intense movements, which stir up the athlete and prepare him for the hard workout to follow the next day. This strenuous day is an all-out test of his potential. Our best sources for weightlifting exercises are Galen and Antyllus. They don't go deep into specifics, but Antyllus does describe some simple lifts, which are still used by weightlifters and bodybuilders of today. According to Antyllus, Roman athletes used improvised dumbbells called halteres to do bicep curls, lunges and deadlifts. The halteres that were found only go up in weight to about 5 kilograms, which is way too little for muscle-building exercises for an adult male. But archaeologists have also found some stone weights from antiquity, which were much heavier. Halteres are a rare example of surviving fitness equipment from the ancient world. Their primary use was distance jumping, but evidently they were also employed in weightlifting. In his treatise on exercise, Galen describes training with bodyweight and with a companion. There is a variety of isometric exercises which he recommends for building strength. In one of the first historical accounts of fitness community feud, Galen criticizes both excessive cardio and the focus on muscle building. Those who work out at the palestra tend toward being muscular rather than towards the pursuit of excellence. Many have become so weighed down that they have difficulty breathing. Perhaps he was supposed to recommend running and other exercises that slim down the body. That is not the case. I assert that everything should be practiced in moderation. Accordingly, I do not approve of running, with which people slim their bodies, and in which they gain no practice of manly spirit. As an alternative for specialized training, Galen proposes exercises with a small ball, which according to him, produces a healthy body and a balance between the various parts of the body, and along with that, a fine spirit. So as you can see, the lack of consensus about the ideal training style was already a problem in the Roman times. The people of antiquity were also aware of some modern bodybuilding concepts like progressive overload. Continuous increasing of lifted weights to achieve muscle growth was popularized by the legend of Milo of Croton. Milo developed his enormous strength by lifting a recently delivered calf. Then he repeated the lift each day until the calf matured. Incidentally, it is also the only time in bodybuilding history when the calf raises produced good results. All this being said, the ancient Roman workout plans and exercises aren't exactly the pinnacle of fitness knowledge, and some just sound very amateurish and imprecise. Part of the problem may be the fact that those physicians who wrote about them didn't actually train themselves. Theoretical studies of fitness are all well and good, but to write a compelling account you need to get the feel of those ways yourselves. I hope you found this video interesting and learned something new. If you have questions on the topic, feel free to ask them in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching till the end, and I will see you in the next one.